honestly, maybe I'm evil. I think they should have set him up with King Lolo. They should have set him up with King Lolo, and whatever happened, happened. Oops. Hey y'all, it's Autumn Lathea, and today we are going to be talking about One of Them Days, starring Keke Palmer and SZA, her actual debut, mind you. Yeah. It's written by Syreeta Singleton, produced by Issa Rae, and directed by Lawrence Lamont. So I'm going to do like a mini chit chat before we get to the major chit chat. Okay, stay with me. So I went and saw this movie on Inauguration Day because I needed something fun, something fresh, something, something for the girls. All I'm gonna say is I was not disappointed, y'all. Like, I already knew it was gonna be good from the previews that I saw, but like actually being in that theater and watching it and like feeling the emotions and like getting into the story, it's a very good movie, y'all. Like, you should absolutely see it. I'm getting ahead of myself. I forgot to mention there absolutely will be spoilers. If you have not seen the movie and you don't want it spoiled, just don't watch. Or honestly, if you're one of those people where you don't mind having it spoiled because you're still gonna watch anyway, then watch and like and comment. Okay, anyway, I do want to start with the Friday comparisons, okay? I've seen some reviews where people are like, oh my god, this is a Friday ripoff, just the feminine version. First off, some similarities, yes, because it's Black people in the hood in California. Like, there's gonna be a little bit of overlap, but the lengths y'all are going, it's just not giving. Y'all are acting like Friday and One of Them Days are twins, whole time they second cousins. Like, let's be for real. The movie is like an hour and 40 minutes long. I think the pacing was pretty good. That was another comment I saw. Some people were saying like, oh, it's super rushed. Girl, One of Them Days. The entire movie is one singular day. It kind of got to move along. I don't know. So they also did like the time lapses where it'll be like 8 hours until rent due. I think those sequences, along with the actual story, they were paced very well. Like, they made sense. It wasn't rushed. But that's just me. One of the main topics I wanted to talk about was continuation, because you don't really see this anymore nowadays. It's more of like a past thing where they'll have like a gag or just a concept and they'll continue it throughout the movie or the TV show. Nowadays, it's kind of like a cutaway gag scene where they'll have something and then they'll immediately get rid of it. For instance, an example of the gag scene where they kind of get rid of it would be you get in a fight and your hair looks like a rat's nest and then 2 seconds later it's giving bust down frontal. What's going on? One of Them Days doesn't do that. So basically, Keke Palmer, the gag is that she was supposed to get her hair done. She's getting these braids. The person flakes on her to finish. So she's walking around with a whole patch of hair just out. I really applaud them for keeping it realistic, because even when she goes to the interview, like the person, he tries to fix it up for her, but even then it's not enough time to make it slay and lay. So they just do what they can. They make it work. And I really respect that, because it keeps the integrity of the movie. It keeps it authentic. It keeps it realistic. Another example of like authenticity and realness, I would say, is the end of the movie. 99% of the movie is like a singular day where all these chaotic instances happen, right? That 1%, which is like maybe a day later or maybe even several days later, whatever it is, just 1% of the movie. So it's barely like 2 minutes. The best way I can describe this scene is yes, I am hopeful for today. Like that part when everybody gets the happy ending, they made them realistic. So this girl who's been painting but didn't believe in herself and had her paintings sitting in her living room, she finally sells them, and she actually sold one painting for $1,000. That's realistic. Like, that makes sense. That is the perfect progression for her character. Same thing with Keke's character, Drew. She went from being somebody working in a restaurant, people didn't believe in her enough. She went from that to being a manager at a whole different company. Once again, realistic. We're not seeing her be a Fortune 500 business owner over the span of a week. We're seeing gradual progression. So Maniac and Drew's progression makes so much sense. Drew goes from being shy and like barely wanting to talk to Maniac literally saving their lives because he's a firefighter, to Maniac picking her up from work every night faithfully. Yeah, that's progression. That makes sense. It's not like, oh, and then Drew and Maniac ran away and got married and had 3 kids. Like, that's, whoa, that's doing a lot. I just really appreciate how we got happy endings, but they weren't fully happy endings, if you know what I mean. Like, they're more so happy beginnings. Like, we're seeing the start of their new lives. I'm not gonna say they're the best version of themselves, but we're seeing them working towards the best version of themselves. You know, like they're getting there and we're watching them get there. And I also think that leaves room for a part 2, a sequel. I don't know. I would like to see it. So this is a hot topic. A lot of people were saying that Alyssa was the real villain of the movie. Obviously, we had 2 actual villains of the movie. We had King Lolo, and then we had Miss Triple B, Big Booty Bernice. They were the actual villains. However, I raise you a 3rd villain. And you know who that is? Keyshawn. They call him Alyssa's boyfriend, but it's really giving situationship. Let's start there. You were supposed to be staying in their home for 6 days and you stayed there for 6 months, stole their rent money, spent it on Gucci shirts, fake Gucci shirts, mind you. And I guarantee you, had the shirt line popped off, he was going to leave them high and dry. He was not going to give them nothing. Mind you, the fact that he sat there, stole their money, knowing that they would get evicted. He stole the money, tried to make the t-shirts, then he ran off when they were about to hold him accountable, went to the neighborhood bully, who he knows has beef with his girlfriend, we literally caught him in the girl's bedroom. Like they definitely did. He has every chance to redeem himself, every chance to do better, and he just doesn't. Like he literally just doesn't. You sat there, stole the girl money, slept with the op, and then you gonna sit here and drive around with the op looking for the girls, looking for your roommates, your unofficial roommates, so that she could beat them up. You could have let her off the trail. You could have been a diversion. You could have did anything, and you were just an active participant. And that's really why, like, honestly, maybe I'm evil. I think they should have set him up with King Lolo. They should have set him up with King Lolo, and whatever happened, happened. Oops. Like, I really don't care. He pissed me off so bad, and there was no remorse. He was just like, yeah, I stole y'all's money, but I was gonna have a come up though. I don't think Alyssa's a villain. I think she is somebody who has a very low self-esteem. And yes, that can be harmful. I'm not gonna lie, but y'all are putting way too much on this girl. Like he's right there. Not to go on a tangent, but people can only push you but so far. Drew's character, she literally would like tell Alyssa, hey, like you're so good, you need to take this serious, like you can really push this further. And she would be like, no, you just talking. Your friends can only say so much. Your family can only say so much. Your partner can only say so much. Your mentors can only say so much. You have to believe in yourself. You have to be motivated enough to want to see your full potential. For somebody who is so spiritual and so in tune with the earth, I was very surprised to see, 1, that she had such low self-esteem, and 2, that she didn't believe in the possibilities for her. That was really shocking. I was just like, girl, like, is this for play or is this for real? But I'm glad she got it together eventually. What I wanted to say though was, you really do have to believe in yourself. In the end of the movie, we see that Alyssa, she's selling her paintings like continuously now. Like it's a thing. It's not just the pop-up show. She's now an artist, like a real artist who commissions work, sells it, the whole 9. Going back to the theme of like realisticness and authenticity, I think they did a really great job at showing us that you can have a better life without having to be like drastically different. I left the theater being very inspired. I immediately was like, okay, I gotta do YouTube way more seriously than I've been doing it because I want this to take me somewhere. Just like seeing how they finally got it together. Like they were beefing, first of all. They weren't even on good terms, and they still were like, you know what? Putting all of that aside, we got work to do. We're gonna make this work. They put their differences aside, got to the bag, saved their lives, made everything better. That movie is the perfect catalyst for a creative or somebody who just wants to do more. It shows you like, yeah, your situation could suck. It could be just booty butt cheeks, like absolutely horrible. But if you have the mindset that you can be better because you want better, then you can get better. Drew, she liked her job, but she wanted more. She went to the interview in a horrible outfit, hair looking a mess, her friend getting beat up outside. Did she let that deter her? No, she showed up, she gave her best interview. Initially, they did renege, they definitely did. But once they did the pop-up, and the girl, she went there and was like, oh my gosh, you put this together? And she was like, yeah, girl, I did. Just showing that initiative and showing what you're capable of, every chance you get, no matter what's going on, it's going to pay off. And trust me, like, I know how bad it can get, but like, you really do have to believe in yourself. I don't know if that was the message of the movie. Like, yeah, it's supposed to be lighthearted, funny, haha, but like, also, it's giving you a little nugget to put in your purse before you leave the theater. And I appreciate that. Like, I'm a sucker for that. Another thing about Keyshawn, because he just pisses me off so bad, honestly, it's a little bit of him and a little bit of Bethany, because girl, you sat here and you watched them be dogged out by this boy. Yes, he's now homeless again. However, does that mean he needs to live with you? I don't think so. I guess she was being nice, but girl. And speaking of Miss Bethany, she is so funny. When we're at the courtyard scene where they're doing the pop-up and then King Lolo comes with his goons and he's like, hey, where them girls at? She's like, oh my God, I know what's going on here. Let me get my pepper spray. Like, girl, pepper spray? King Lolo? King Lolo who get bodies for breakfast? King Lolo? Like, be so serious, be so serious, be so serious. And I'm glad Drew was like, girl, it's okay. Just go inside. You need to go home. Cause you need to go home. And speaking of that courtyard scene, like, I just thought it was so beautiful seeing how the whole community, like the entire apartment complex, came together to like make this event as special as possible because they knew these girls needed that money or else they were going to be like permanently evicted because their stuff was already on the curb. He gave them an extension, so if they got the money, yay, move all their stuff back in. If they didn't get the money, boo, they about to be homeless. So everybody literally came together. They cleaned up the courtyard. They put the lights up, had the music going, had the drinks and the food. It was so beautiful seeing community like that, especially because we know they're not well off people. Everyone there is just making it by. Even the property manager is just making it by. I mean, he definitely needed to be dealt with. He's probably going to jail, if we're being honest, because that was outrageous. Bethany gets a whole brand new condo essentially, and everybody else is breaking down, falling apart, literally falling and hitting people in the head. They all came together and like really showed out for Drew and Alyssa. The fact that they showed out for them, the villain tried to come and ruin everything, did not work. They got the money. They got a whole new renovated place, mind you. That is the ultimate glow up. Going back to SZA's acting debut, she did an amazing job, y'all. Her and Keke were just bouncing off of each other. You would have never guessed that it was her first time. I think it also worked because her character is pretty similar to Alyssa. I'm not gonna say like the bad parts. I'm just saying like free-spirited. She's fun. She's very energetic. So I think that aspect really works well with SZA as a person. Also, Keke is an amazing actress, so her being able to work with SZA, if SZA didn't have as many strong parts, I think Keke kind of bounced off it so well that nobody would really notice, because I definitely didn't notice. Speaking of Miss Keke, she has always been just amazing in everything that she does. I want to see her get all the awards for this. So I've been blabbering for a while, y'all, so I'm gonna wind it down. What I will say is, obviously, I really enjoyed this movie. I'm gonna give it a 9.5 out of 10 because I really enjoyed it. I laughed so hard throughout the entire movie. The acting, the music, the pacing, just 10s across the board. I will say I was absolutely serious about a sequel, a part 2. I think we should get that. Maybe add a few more characters, expand, you know. I'm gonna let y'all do that. Thank you so much for watching. I hope y'all liked it. Let me know in the comments how you felt about the movie. What were your favorite parts? Who were your favorite characters? And yeah, I'll see y'all next time. Bye.